What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the OddsShopper channel, coming to you with a hump day last day before MLB starts edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Want to remind you, before tomorrow, NBA and MLB will be on the same video because, well, producer Jacob and I just don't have enough time in the day to be able to get everything together for two separate videos, mainly because as years have gone on, my responsibilities have gone up elsewhere, not just on the home life, but in the work life. I have so many different shows in the DFS streets over on Stochastic, here in the betting streets, just doing nonstop coverage as much as I possibly can. So to not get burned out, in order to be able to get you this timely information as fast as possible and, well, actionable as possible, you're going to want to be checking out the one video going forward. So tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your wives. It's a different video and it's the opposite. But anyway, we got ourselves down below in the video description box below. We had 14 people sign up for it within the first 2 hours yesterday. So the powers that be said, one more time, Eric, one more time. Lindy 14, open for 14 more spots. Yes, the 7-day free trial is always going on, but a 14-day trial. If you want to check this tool out for MLB, you'll want to go to the video description box below and take advantage of it. Plus, I love this thing. Portfolio EV has been revamped. We are in version 2. Yes, friends, version 2. There are way more markets that we are tapping into for the MLB season, and I cannot wait. It is a market-based approach to beating the books, not just the projection-based like I'm doing on a day-in, day-out basis here on this side, but this is another part of the betting repertoire that I've added just by simply downloading the OddsShopper app, simply finding the top bets available wherever they may be, whichever books that might be. And hey, in California, Texas, no matter where you are, there are tons of bets available here in the MLB streets for you as well, whether that's at Rebet, Fliff, Onyx, so on and so forth. So no matter where you live, no matter what sports books you have options with, Lindy 14 for Portfolio AV. We'll talk about it at the halfway point, but I want to get the leans. We got 3 of those. We got likes, 3 of those. No locks on the card, obviously. Ended up with some locks in the prop department on Yaki Okongwu, and then ended up on Najee Marshall. You had 28 first half points there. Cashed that over 17.5. Probably could have just sent that one to the moon. Wish I had locked that. But anyway, you know what? I'm not going to complain about a really good Monday and so far a really good Tuesday. So hopefully that momentum continues on into the MLB season. But before then, Wednesday, NBA, producer Jacob, let's get to it. Lean time. My friends, my dear friends, we start with Toronto and Brooklyn, 2 teams that have absolutely no desire to win this basketball game. Both of them would prefer that the other one just went out and won it. Now, the other part is Toronto actually has actionable NBA players that they need to take care of, which always puts like a little bit of a wrench into the analysis here because, well, I think a super sharp guy here in the industry, DK DFS, he's available on Tails. You can sign up. Again, Tails, join the community. Start tailing experts today, like me. And DK DFS, he definitely was on to something where maybe these first halves, so we just see one time everybody just gets removed from the game, and that one time will pay off if you single game parlay them all together. But for the time being, Brooklyn's been playing everything straight up, as Teddy KGB would say. So D'Angelo Russell off the injury report. You do have Emmanuel Quickly and Jakob Poeltl out on the Toronto side, so I'll lean Brooklyn money line, but don't love it. As for the Lakers-Pacers, this one's obviously interesting because both teams are trying, and Pacers have won 5 in a row. Tyrese Halliburton's on another one. Put in that work, Devin. Don't give up. Great commercial. But Tyrese Halliburton, they don't have any availability right now on his points plus assists, which we ended up playing pretty nicely. 26.5, 27.5, cashed everything against my Timberwolves. It was a really bad performance by my Timberwolves. And of course, Mike Conley, down 22, finds 3 assists in the fourth quarter. That was my only L other than the Josh Giddey quarter unit. Otherwise, had a 6-2 day. So pretty darn good there on Monday. Anyway, you don't care about that. We are forward looking here, 5-1 in the old premium Discord. It was beautiful stuff. And then, yeah, the Giddey thing is whatever. But over 226.5 Milwaukee and Denver. Sad news for the Milwaukee Bucks. Damian Lillard has a blood clot deal going on right now that just got announced not too long ago here, and obviously that's going to shift the tide as far as what we're looking at. Now, is it going to shift the betting odds in the East? Not really, purely because you still are looking at the Boston Celtics, but I mean, it's a buy low spot, I suppose. He's out indefinitely with deep vein thrombosis in calf. That is bad. It's really bad. But over 226.5, no Jokic. He's doubtful here in this spot. And you look at some of the pace metrics the last couple of games, and I always say pace metrics. Just get ready. X-Woba. Producer Jacob just cringed. Oh, he just cringed. It's okay. Over 226.5. Don't really want to play it, though. 228.5. Not really enough meat on that bone. And I'm not going to bet Milwaukee coming off of this news because, well, Dame's not playing. So there you are, friends. Your leans. Let's get ourselves to the likes right now. Game number 1 in the betting department. Again, today only try portfolio EV. We'll talk about it here in a second. But Washington plus 3.5 taking on Philly. And Eric, you just got done making fun of Toronto at Brooklyn. You didn't have any bet there. What about Washington, Philly? Yeah, both these teams definitely don't want to win it. In fact, 76ers have more at stake than just their positioning. It is a pick that they either have or they don't have. They need to be in the top 6. Top 6 protected pick. Otherwise, OKC gets it. That would be a disaster in this draft class that's a lot better than last year's, although we're starting to see Alex Sarr, Zachary Uri-Sachet. Guys are starting to put it together a little bit here and there. It's not a very good class, though, because Cooper Flag exists in this one. So everybody wants that number 1 spot. Yeah, number 1. I am number 1. It's not a winner. 3 nobody remember. Hey. All right, let's talk about a prop. Yeah, we've got a prop and 2 money lines on today's slate. It's kind of a wild one if you ask me. Well, it's pretty straightforward if you ask me too. Philly. How about Justin Edwards and his minutes? And really, minutes is money this time of year because if you can predict who may or may not get ripped off the floor, well, you're going to be in better standing. Now, there are no doubts that Quentin Grimes has played a lot more minutes of late than I was expecting, but they've even dwindled down. Now, he sat out last game there, but 32, 35, 35. Yeah, decent minutes allotment. He's been just going nuts in it. Butler, Doughton, the other 2 guys who ended up starting in the backcourt last time out. But Yabusele, 29, 28, 20, 29 with a 38 in the middle of that against San Antonio. They've done a really good job at restricting his minutes. Plus, there's a guy in Alex Reese that you need to pay attention to his status every single day because I believe he only has 5 more games the rest of the season that he can play for Philly before they can't utilize him again. Yeah, these 10-day contracts and everything is absolutely insane the way that they manage the system this time of year. But you kind of want Alex Reese out on the floor instead of a Yabusele. But one guy that they're just going to give unlimited run to every single time out is Justin Edwards because they don't really care about him apparently. And those same games I just listed off where Yabusele was being limited, Edwards 40, 30, 38, 39, 35. He has been chucking the ball to 15, 14, 14, 18, 18 field goal attempts in all of those. Is he good? Not really. Now, his three-point shooting's been decent here of late. He's shot at least 50% in his last 3, taking 6 attempts or more in each of those. So overall, I just kind of am running through my projections, and I'm explaining it a little bit more than I normally do. But Justin Edwards, he is listed overall with the whole portfolio at 21.5 PRA. Minutes are money. It is really hard for me to envision a scenario where he doesn't eclipse 21.5, playing 34, 35 minutes regardless of game script against the Wizards. So we're off to see the Wizards. What you've worked and waited for. Justin Edwards over 21.5 PRA, minus 125 at BetMGM. Just bet it. Don't make me sing Wicked. The Clippers taking on the New York Knicks. The Knicks back-to-back in the Garden, which is always fun. I'm sure Ben Stiller, everybody loves him right now. He's super in right now. Oh, that Ben Stiller, so hot right now, coming off of Severance. I want to talk to everybody about it. It's like multi-dimensional. Who am I talking to? My innie, my outie, my innie, my outie. I don't know, but I do know the cat just went ballistic in that first half. We'll see how he ends up doing in the second half. I'm recording it at halftime of that game because, well, just tracking it because, well, we ended up on Knicks minus 7.5. It closed at 11.5. I swear to God, give me CLV, but I also bet Najee Marshall, so I'm kind of covered no matter what happens there. Anyway, he already cashed that. Let's cash this here, shall we? How are the Clippers money line? Minus 105 here in this spot. It does not compute, friends. It doesn't make sense to me. James Harden is questionable. Totally get it. He's out in New York doing God knows what, doing God knows where, doing God knows with who, but I think he plays basketball tomorrow, and I put him at 75% weighting in my model. Again, you can do custom minutes on dunks and threes. You can go into ChatGPT. You can build out your 10,000 simulations. You can do whatever you want, but every single time has me going towards the Clippers side. I have them favored by 2 points in this spot. And yeah, minus 105, again, we would be looking at like minus 120, minus 125. So yeah, give me the Clippers money line here in this spot. Obviously, is that full 2 points from a 0 or, a plus 1.5? Doesn't matter going through the number. Yeah, it's minor. Obviously, the money line, it's a big deal. So pay attention to things like that. But overall, friends, minus 105 at DraftKings at open. Bet it immediately for a half unit. Might add more later here, but we got one more game. We got one more money line as well. It's got a little bit more juice attached to it, but that's all right. That's okay. I got something that you might like. I just screwed that up. Lindy 1-4. Let's talk about it quick. One more time for the people in the back. Portfolio EV in the NBA streets has been extremely profitable. The MLB starting up with version 2 here on Thursday. You want to jump in at the video description box below right now and sign up using Lindy 1-4. It's only available for the first 14 people who sign up with this. So I hope you're listening to this soon. If you go to the link below, again, obviously 14 people took advantage of it right away. I don't know if it goes as quick, if it's going to go like, Waffle House pancakes right off the bat here, but I can tell you that this tool is going to be insanely profitable going forward and going to be able to filter out historically ROIs that are not profitable here in any other betting market. You can set up portfolios to be advantageous in the market-based approach. And if you have questions about it, I have answers, not just in the premium Discord, but over on X at Eric Lindquist, Lindy14. Sign up now before it is too late, my friends. Back to the picks we go, or should I say pick one more to go. Let's talk net ratings, shall we? Because Jason Tatum will be out here for the Boston Celtics taking on the Phoenix Suns. And the Phoenix Suns, friends, obviously they are not doing so well here in the old net rating department because, well, it's just kind of been a struggle bus season for them all the way around. Yes, you have Kevin Durant. Yes, you have Bradley Beal. You do, but he's on the bench and he's hurt, so it's been better with him on the bench. It's just kind of sad to say out loud. But the main point I'm trying to make here is that Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, -1 adjusted net rating. Now they're up to 35 and 37, putting some games together because this time of year, they're still trying to win. You play to win the game, duh, unless you're teams like Philly and Toronto and Washington and everybody we talked about previously on this show, just about, other than the Knicks and Clippers. That's pretty self-apparent. But this one, friends, Boston, they're still top 3 in my modeling with Jason Tatum off the floor, which sounds impossible, sounds insane. So I had to go back through it, and it makes a lot more sense once you break it down this way, because OKC and Cleveland just separate themselves more from Boston, whereas Boston remains in that number 3 spot, slightly ahead of Houston, which is insane that Houston is 4th in my modeling, but they're such a good rebounding team. Late scratching Amen Thompson today. Hopefully he's okay. But the point being here, Boston is still undervalued considering -135. Jaylen Brown just got back. Didn't look all that right here right from the get-go, but they add back Sam Hauser. They add back Al Horford, 2 guys who sat out last time. Boston's been doing the staggering now. They probably aren't afforded that right as much with Jason Tatum going forward. I'd be inclined to maybe rest him all the way towards the end of the regular season and just saying, hey, we got our team. We're ready to rock. Stagger some Jaylen Brown starts there. You're going to finish number 2 in the East just about no matter what you do. So do it. Just do what you want to do here. But playing full strength outside of Jason Tatum, yeah, it's a huge omission. We're talking a top 5, top 10 player in the NBA, a guy who Steve Kerr doesn't believe that that's the case. But I think -135 is an asinine number up against Phoenix. Thought about locking it, but here's the thing. I think you could attach this. I know a lot of people just money line parlay as is, but I'm seeing all the offers. I'm seeing all the things coming up for the NCAA tournament and for opening day MLB. If you want to just take a half unit for Clippers and Boston, put them together, have a sweat, enjoy that today. We want to go a little bit lighter. We have tons to bet on coming up the rest of the week and props showing up tomorrow, which I've routinely had 3 times, 4 times more than show up on this video in the premium Discord. Lindy $5 for your first week. Jump on in. The water's warm. MLB starting Thursday. Let's just take it easy. Boston money line. Let's get the heck up out of here. And that does it for the final NBA only edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks, or just Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks, as we're going to call it here going forward. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for this lovely 6-game slate. Obviously, 3 plays on this video, 3 leans that we have. I'm going to go through the props at Eric Lindquist. If you followed the prop thread on Monday, you smashed. If you were in the premium Discord on Monday, you really smashed. And if you watched this video, you had a little smashy smash. So overall, all good things. Smashing is fun. I'm going to not say that again because out of context, that sounds strange. Lindy 1-4 down at the link below. Check it out, friends, before MLB starts up. And tomorrow's video is going to be a long one. Producer Jacob, buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's the little skull thing from Prisoner of Azkaban. Whatever. We're going to get out of here. I'm Eric Lindquist, friends. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Wednesday.